everyone, this is Tammy from Tammy Colors 2. I am doing the Coloring Scare tag. Woo! This tag was created by Colorfully Optimistic and Emma Colors 2020, and I was tagged by Ever's Color Corner. So I'm trying to pull up my questions. I thought that since you all like watching me color in pencil, as nervous as that makes me, I pulled out some pencils and I've got my Fadorables Minis book, and I thought I would do this witch. I'm using some Mark Art pencils. I pulled some out already so that y'all wouldn't have to watch me painfully try to decide what color I wanted to use, and hopefully this works out. I have a plan, scary as that sounds. All right, so let me zoom in. I'm not really sure where to start with her. I guess I'll start with her hat. Okay. She will not be the same color as this. I like the light source, so I may use the same light source, but the colors won't be the same. Okay, so the first question is, what weapon would you choose if you were living in The Walking Dead? So this is actually a funny answer. I was reading all these questions with my husband last night, and I honestly couldn't think. I kept thinking of, because The Walking Dead, I never watched The Walking Dead. There's a reason, because I read the comic book and I didn't feel the need. First of all, they were so whiny. Oh my God. In the comic book, so much whining. I did, oh. And you know, the worst part is I hated the kid. I think the only one that didn't whine a lot was the dad, which I can't remember his name. But anyway, I read it from the beginning, and there are lots of shocking things that happen in the comic book. But anyway, so that's why I didn't watch it. Someday I might. I know it's really good, but just I felt like because I read the comic book, I didn't need to. But anyway, so I kept thinking of Michonne and the sword she uses. But then my husband said flamethrower, and I'm like, oh my God, you're right. A flamethrower, is perfect. Well, I'm sure it's not perfect, because I said, why? I asked him why a flamethrower, and he said, because, well, I mean, you have to get closer than you think to use a flamethrower, but still, he's like, because it has so many other uses. Like, you need a fire, or, I'm like, oh my God. So a flamethrower is a great answer, and I'm going to go with that because it would be fun. So next question number 2. If you were paid to stay the night in a haunted house, would you, and how much would they have to pay me? So it depends on the house, honestly, because I'm pretty sure if someone needed me to stay in the Amityville house, they couldn't pay me enough money. It would have to be a lot, and I'm not even sure they could pay me to do that. But most haunted houses, I would probably pay to do it. Because I believe in ghosts, but I have never seen a ghost, and I would like to. So I watched all the ghost hunter shows and stuff like that. I'm really into that. But also I have to clean my reading glasses off. I don't believe everything they see. I mean, some of it's explainable. But anyway, we will not digress that far. Next, question 3. What superstition or urban legend do you believe? So, I mean, that's a hard question because there are so many. And it's kind of specific to your area. And it, a a lot of us have grown up with these superstitions and urban legends. And you know, in a way, I believe in most of them. Like here in Ohio, there's the Moonville Tunnel, where supposedly, I mean, like there's actually like four different legends of, or legends of four different spirits that are supposed to haunt that. That's down in Athens, Ohio. Because I'm from Southern Ohio. But I do believe in the Mothman. The Mothman is just such a weird thing to see. I mean, how could you... I mean, it sounds utterly ridiculous. And if you don't know Mothman, and, you know, the Mothman mysteries were totally based on the Mothman. Can you tell I'm terrified to color this? I'm just going to totally screw this up because I'm not good with leaving white space and I'm trying really hard. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, the Mothman is a good one, especially for around here. It's Point Pleasant, West Virginia. So it's not far from where I grew up. Although I've never been there. I was telling Ever that my mom actually, there's a Mothman statue in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and you can get your picture taken with the Mothman statue. But it's so crazy because people see him when bad things are going to happen, and I don't know, I don't know if I want to believe that something that weird would exist, but I mean, they're seeing something. And Bigfoot. I mean, you know, I watch all the Bigfoot shows, the ghost hunting shows. But I am skeptical, shall we say. I'm cautiously skeptical. I don't just believe everything they throw in front of me. Anyway, that was probably far, far too long of an answer for that. 4. Which horror movie did you never get over? Oh, that's easy. The Amityville Horror. Because of the Amityville Horror, I am completely unable to stare out a window into the darkness. It's nearly impossible for me to do because it scared me so bad. You know, the red eyes looking back in the window. And if I went back and watched it today, who knows? It may not scare me that bad. But, yeah, no. But yeah, it was the Amityville Horror was totally, like demons are the worst for me because to me, demons are real. And they can take on so many forms, and you can't kill them. You can just banish them. You can make them go away. Because there are ways to defeat them, but they don't actually die, which is a little unfair, I think. But, yeah, demons to me are the scariest of all things. So, but yeah, Amityville Horror would be that answer. Number 5. What is your favorite scary and or Halloween coloring book? Oh, goodness. You know, I meant to look. And it's hard because I like them all. I mean, I have so much fun in all of my Halloween coloring books. I have been coloring like crazy today and still getting work done around my house, which is nice because we're decorating for Halloween. So I am so not doing this right. Too much space. Anyway, I would have to say all of them. They're all fabulous. They're all just so different, and they, it depends on your mood. But what is there one I've colored in more? I'm trying to think. No, I can't pick just one. I'm sorry, peeps. I can't. They're all so much fun. So let's see. Number 6. What is the scariest book you've ever read? So this was a hard one. Because I read a lot of Stephen King back in the day. And I stopped. I was telling William, I said, maybe if I had actually gotten past the first part of it, it might have been scary. But I'm kind of glad I didn't. I started reading it, and the first chapter is really scary, or the intro or the beginning. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And then I couldn't get past the next chapter of people, descriptions of people. And I was just like, so much detail about these people that I don't need. I mean, and then I saw like the end of it, the movie, not too long ago. I don't know, I found it somewhere. I saw the end, and I'm like, lame. Okay, but maybe the book was different. But anyway. So plus clowns, I don't know. Why does he? I understand why he appears as a clown, but yeah. So, but seriously, the scariest book I've ever read is probably going to surprise you. And it's called The Stranger Beside Me. Trying to think of what her name was. Hang on, let me look. I should have been prepared for this. You know her. Her name is very famous. The Stranger. I'm searching with one finger. Then I'm going to lose my questions. I'm trying to remember what her name is. Anne Rule? No, not Anne Rule. Yes, Anne Rule. I was right. So it is a story of her account of Ted Bundy, because she actually worked with him at a, it was a suicide hotline. So she knew him, and he would call her from time to time. And so she actually, I think in a way, got involved in the investigation. And so this book tells the whole story. And at one point, there's, and maybe what's so scary about this is the fact that it actually happened. Like, all of these things happened, and it was years, I recommend it. It's a really good book. But it can be difficult if you have trouble with stuff like that. However, one of the stories is about a girl, and they're at college, and she is going back to her room. She leaves the one building, and she's going back to her room, and people talk to her out the window as she's walking, and it's like, I forget what they said, like 600 feet or something like that, 1,000 feet down to the building where she lived. And there were people hanging out the window, and they were talking to her while she was walking down the alley. And in this really short distance, in a short time frame, he took her. I mean, like, literally just within seconds, and it was terrifying. I remember when I read that part, and I told William, I said, you're gonna have to watch me when I go to the mailbox, because literally that is, you could go to the mailbox and he could get you. I mean, just completely, it was terrifying. So I know that's not what you were expecting, but I think that one freaked me out the most. More than all of the Stephen King stories that I've read. That one got to me. Another really good one is The Devil in the White City, by the way, if you ever if you like serial killer stories. But The Devil in the White City is about H.H. Holmes, which they call America's first serial killer. But actually, the funny thing about that book is I learned so much about American history in that book, because it's about 2/3 American history and 1/3 H.H. Holmes. But you learn all these and he's really scary too. I am not gonna lie. The things that he did and the fact that he didn't have any compunction, and they have no idea how many people he murdered because he was so good at disposing of the bodies. And that one's pretty terrifying. But I think the Ted Bundy one is scarier, maybe because it's closer to my time frame or whatever. But there you go. Long-winded answer being what it is. Okay. So, what's next? If you could, number 7, if you could be a scary monster, what would you be? A scary monster. I'm trying to define that. I feel like some of these needed to be defined a little bit more. Because what can I pick? Can I pick anything? Because I kind of want to be Sweetums, but Sweetums isn't all that scary. And if you know Sweetums from the Muppets, bully for you. But I don't know. Probably a werewolf, because I think they're cool. But anyway, number 8. Where's the scariest place you've ever been? The scariest place, probably the Ohio Penitentiary in shoot, what's the name of the town? It's not Medina. Or the Ohio Reformatory. What do they call it? It's closed. It's a haunted house now. Well, they do a bunch of things. If you didn't know, The Shawshank Redemption was filmed there. It was one of the filming locations. Ohio, I think it's Reformatory. And actually, I may have to amend that, because I just thought of some place that might have been scary. Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield. I'm sorry, I could not think of Mansfield. We have a lot of scary stuff in Ohio, huh? So you in October, or it might start before then, but they open it up as a haunted house. And they do tours, and yeah, there's people in there that are supposed to scare you and stuff, but at the same time, you're just walking through, in a lot of parts, this really scary, old, dilapidated, falling down prison, and it's enormous, and the cell blocks, it's breathtaking and terrifying all at the same time. And they take you down in the basement, and there's solitary confinement cells, and that's scary. I mean, I am not gonna lie, those solitary confinement cells are, because it's pitch black down there. I mean, they have electricity, but they obviously don't turn it on for the haunted house, so it's pitch black down there, and you're just, you feel, it feels like there's something down there. It's very bizarre. One of the other places, I've never seen a ghost, but I feel energy sometimes. It's really weird. I don't know. So, of course, it could just be me. I don't know what. I really want to see a ghost one of these days. But anyway, one of the other scariest places I've ever been is we went to cave. what's the big cave in Kentucky? Why am I not remembering anything today? It's like Mammoth Cave. Sorry, Mammoth Cave. So we went there, and in the tour, at one point, you know, you're down a long ways, and they turn the lights out. And you realize at that moment in time that you have never been anywhere that has been completely pitch black. Like, no light. Because there is no light down there. And that is mildly terrifying. Plus, you know, you got the cool breezes and stuff like that. So, you know, definitely very scary. Although Mammoth Cave isn't a scary place, but, you know what I mean. Okay. So I'm going to try to do better with remembering things. Let's see. Question number 9. Are you scared of the dark? And if so, what scares you the most about it? Yes, I am. I have worked really hard over the years to get over that. And mostly it's places I'm not familiar with. We've owned our house now for 4 years, and I'm used to it enough that I can walk around in the dark. But that being said, my friend did buy me a salt stone lamp that I could have on because she knew how much trouble I have with the dark. And it's just, I mean, part of it is the Amityville horror. Part of it is just, it's, what scares me is what you don't see. What's waiting there? What are you not paying attention to? What's waiting to grab you in the dark? Or what's watching you? Even, you know, it's just creepy. And, you know, if you're not afraid of the dark, like my husband isn't, I'm like, you're so lucky. Because, you know, it sucks. It really, really does suck to be afraid of the dark. And I mean, like, I don't go running and screaming or anything, mind you, but it's difficult. Some days I'm fine, and other days I'll get something in my head and it'll be really difficult for me to go into the basement. Or, I mean, even though I'm turning the light on, you know, it's just, it's hard. And I don't know why. I'll just have it in my head and, you know, something's scary, something's watching me, what's down there. You know, maybe I'll remember some movie that I've watched or whatever, like last night. We watched The Conjuring 2, which is flipping creepy. It may be one of the creepiest movies I've ever seen. I mean, it has been a long time since something has creeped me out that bad, and it may just be because they had a brilliant image for this demon. I mean, it was flipping scary. That's all I'm saying. And it, I was jumping, screaming. I mean, it did a really good job. If you like scare movies and things that jump and jump at you and scare you and are creepy are your thing, then I totally recommend this movie. It was a really good movie. Don't get me wrong. It was. I really liked it. And it's based on a true haunting. Let's see. But I'm sure it's been dramatized for movies. Number 10. Do you go to the toilet with the lights on or off after a scary movie? Oh, God, totally on. And if you have a closet, would you need to have the door fully closed to sleep? Yes. Even when it's dark and I can't see that the closet door is open, I know that the closet door is open. And it must be closed. It's very weird and very freaky. So, yeah. That's not a hard answer. Let's see. Next. 11. Do you prefer to watch scary movies with others or alone? Oh, definitely with others. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't like annoying people because I just want to watch the movie. But I would never... The only way I could watch a scary movie alone is if it was in the middle of the day. And that might be tough. Some movies, it's just tough. If it's a really good scary movie, then you can't watch it anytime alone. If you know what I mean, if you're into scary movies. So 12, do you want to be a vampire, zombie, or werewolf, and why? Oh, I would totally want to be a vampire. See, the last question said scary monster. I don't necessarily think that a scary vampire is a scary monster. Unless you're into the whole Nosferatu vampire style, which I tend to try. I try really hard not to believe that that is a representation of a vampire in any way, shape, or form. Because that vampire creeps me out far too much. The Nosferatu vampire is the one that I can't watch because it's so damn creepy. But that being said, I want to be a vampire. Hello, eternal life. Okay, I can't go out in the daytime, but looking young and beautiful forever. You know, and I've watched a lot of movies. They can, you know, get a friend at a blood bank. Maybe they can slip you some nourishment and you don't actually have to kill people. So I think that's like, you know, the best of both worlds, personally. Number 13, would you participate in the zombie run, which is a city event that is like a haunted fun run? If so, would you be a zombie or a runner? Oh, totally a zombie. I would totally be a zombie. And I have friends, like one of my friends is the lead zombie at Zombiesy Bay. We have the Columbus Zoo is very famous. We have the Columbus Zoo here. And there's a water park next to it called Zombiesy Bay. And so this year they opened it as a haunted house called Zombiesy Bay. And they have zombies. And my friend is the lead zombie. And she is brilliant. And she's one of the funniest people I know. And so I'm very excited. Hopefully we're going to get to go and check her out at being a zombie. But yeah, being a zombie would just be fun. You know, yeah. Awesome sauce. 14, do you prefer gory, creepy, or cute and spooky? I would say cute and spooky. Definitely cute and spooky. 15, what scares you the most about being home alone? Oh, goodness. The noises that you don't know where they're coming from. Getting locked in a closet in the dark. I mean, I could think of like a million scenarios. Come on, people. It would just be, I can think of all kinds of bad things that could happen while I'm like home alone. I am going to change colors. I'll probably come back and do this a little bit more. Work on her because, you know, I feel like I need you guys to see a different color other than black. And I probably am going to have to make her black a little blacker. But that's kind of the way I color. I do it and then I go back and I do it some more until it makes me happy. So if it's not dark enough, I'll make it darker. Okay, so let me think. What did I pull out for the band in her hat? Thought I had another purple. Oh, I do. Here it is. Okay. 16. What would you rather walk through a cornfield or a forest in the dark? A forest. Because I think I would feel, I mean, a cornfield, there's just weird and bad things have happened. And no, I've never seen those movies, actually. When I was a kid, I was not allowed to watch scary movies, and so consequently, there are a ton that I just missed out on. Like, I've only seen the first Halloween movie. I haven't seen any of the others. So I did sneak and watch Alien, like, and I watched Poltergeist and stuff like that. Because I would, we did have HBO back in the day, and Poltergeist was on. And it didn't scare me. Jaws, but those didn't really scare me as much as the Amityville Horror did. Let's see. 17. If you could make a magic potion, what would it do, and what ingredients would it take to make it? Oh, goodness. The hard questions. So, what would it do if I could make a magic potion? Well, I mean, I would think, bringing people back from the dead, but we've seen those movies. We know that never comes out right, so we can't do that. What else? Oh, what would I do? What would my magic potion do? Make people happy. Make those angry people happy. You know what I mean? You know who I'm talking about. There are people who are just angry in this world, and they need to be happy. And they need to be pleasant to others. And so it would have like bubbles and sunshine and laughter, like the laughter from a child. Just, really happy things would go into this potion. Rainbows, yeah, we would have to get like a rainbow and stick in there somehow. Of course, it's a magic potion. We can do anything, right? I mean, come on. I'm missing a piece of paper to clean off my... we'll just do it here. Okay. So, what's the next question? Let's see. Oh, what was your... 18. What was your favorite Halloween costume of all time? I know I talked about this before. 'Cause I remember when I was a kid, I presented to myself my parents one year that I wanted to be a Playboy bunny. And I was young enough that I didn't understand exactly what that meant. I just wanted to wear fishnets and a bunny tail and ears. So, they said no. Because I can't remember how old I was. I was like 12, 10. I think it was like 10. There was a very emphatic no. And Dad built me a robot costume. And it was awesome. I mean, he took boxes and covered them in aluminum foil. And I really did look like a robot. It was so cool. I mean, I just loved it. I loved that costume. It was such a long time ago. 19. Who would you rather have as a friend? Michael Myers, Pennywise, Alien, Predator, or Freddy Krueger, and why? Okay, let's go through these. So, Michael Myers is a real person, but he's crazy. So, we'll leave him on the fringe there for a moment. Alien? No, even though Alien was the alien in the last movie, before Prometheus, the last actual Alien movie was actually helping them, and it was good, sort of. But even with that, I just don't know. I mean, they're made to kill, so not having that. Predator or Pennywise, no, because Pennywise is a demon, and no. No. Not even considering that. Predator, he is actually an alien. I'm assuming, I mean, presented as a male. So, he is the most viable option, I think. Maybe, possibly. What color do I want? I don't do hair, people, so this is gonna be, you know, an interesting thing for me to do hair. And Freddy Krueger, was Freddy Krueger an actual person? I don't know. I think not. He might have just been a legend. I did see quite a few Freddy Krueger movies. I did like it, although, you know, after a while it kind of got a little bit lame for me. I need to turn this around. But I guess I'm going to have to go with Predator because, you know, he's an honest, logical entity. I mean, he's not going to hunt you if you're not his prey, right? You can reason with him. He's not crazy. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go with Predator on that one. So next is tag 3 people. So I have a list of who I'm going to tag. I will tag, well, I was going to tag Kathy from Spicy Cat Colors, and I will technically tag her, but she was already tagged by somebody else, I found out. So, excuse me. I'm going to tag Heidi from HCH Coloring. Amanda from Amanda's Joy of Coloring, and Anne Hatfield, because I can't wait to hear Anne's answers. She likes spooky stuff, and I love watching her channel. So if you haven't checked her out, she sells Mary Kay too, if you're interested. But yeah, she really likes spooky stuff. So, and that is my coloring tag. So I will, I think what I'll do is, because I know I promised y'all my love story, our love story or whatever. So I might continue doing this on that tomorrow and see if I can finally get that story out to you. I just needed to get this coloring tag done because, you know, it's time sensitive and all that. But I really want to, like, you know, do the love story because y'all wanted to hear how William and I met in Vegas, and we did not get married in Vegas, although I did kind of mention that to him at one point. I'm like, hey, we should get married in Vegas, but I would want Spock to marry us anyway. And I'll continue working on this picture because I think it's going to be cute. It's hard to believe that's all the farther I got, but talking, you know, having to read the questions does kind of slow me down a little bit, I will admit. So, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm just trying to smooth out some of these. My blending skills are not the best in the world. I envy people who can do all of their blending with pencils. I just can't figure out how they do it and actually leave lightness on the paper. So I'm sure the more I try, the better I'll get. I just got to get there. But I'll continue working on this. I'll do our love story, and I will see you in the next video. Have a spooky Halloween. Woo! Bye, y'all.